This is Matt Russell from the FX Power Course, and welcome to the Daily FX walkthrough.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. If you recall, during last week's reports, I mentioned this longer term resistance line where we might look for short trade setups. We can see the prices did kiss that line perfectly, and they did sell off a little bit. So moving forward now, of course, nothing is for certain, but as of right now, this line seems to be acting as resistance. So I still like this trade with a stop, maybe 25 to 50 pips above this longer term resistance line, or for more conservative traders, you would exit on a close above this line. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi. Not much has changed here. This line is kind of in between now. I'm going to go ahead and remove this line. As I mentioned during last week's report, that 124 figure, I was expecting that to break. It didn't. We had a move upwards, but we did have two borderline dojis forming here, so I like a short bias against that 127 figure. However, prices right now are down near 125, so right in the middle of the range. The support here would be 124, resistance near 127. So if prices are in the middle of the range, we don't enter, we don't do anything, we just wait and watch. So right now, I would, in my experience, I would feel the prices are going to come down and break below that 124 figure. However, before that happens, we would need to see a close beneath the 124 figure, and in fact, the first time it comes down there, you might get some temporary support. So this is a trade we can certainly look to materialize over the next 24 to 48 hours. The next chart is the Pound Swiss. Not much has changed here. Still, and prices have sold off from that 180 figure down to about the 177 figure as of right now. And now that longer term support line is coming into play around the 172 area. So that's the price level I would be watching on this pair. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, the Euro Swiss, and let me zoom out here and give you a better idea of the price levels that I'm looking at. This is the longer term resistance line. We had the break above it and the close above it, and I was speaking last week for prices to come down and test this line on the opposite side where it would act as support. That seems to be happening right now. I like this trade entering here on the long side with a stop, maybe 50 to 75 pips beneath this line. Of course, anything can happen, and also more conservative traders might wait for a close beneath this previous resistance line, which should now act as support. Of course, when you do wait for a close, there is a chance that prices could fall substantially below the line, and so it's hard to manage your risk perfectly in these situations. But again, that's up to each individual trader and their individual risk parameters. Again, my name is Matt Russell. I'm an FX Power Course instructor here at FXCM. Thanks for listening.